Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Dunn and I'm so thrilled to have you back on this channel. We are going to be sharing some channeled messages with you today, and I say we, I refer to my team of light. They are my guides, my masters, my archangels that share information and messages with me that they would like me to share with you. So if that is something interesting to you, please like and subscribe below. And without a further ado, let's get to it. So this is what they wanted me to share with you guys today. Through change, we gain the opportunity to grow. Without pressure and action, there is no change. You are in a state of constant change. You age, you grow, you learn, and you find new ways of doing things. You have always done this, and you will continue to do this now. Change is constant in your realm. It just so happens that you are all experiencing the same type of change at the same time. So, this current state of change feels more intense. Change is neither good nor bad. Change is simply constant. Okay, so this message is all about change. It's all about the chaos around us, but also it's funny that they point out that our entire life experience here on our realm and in this reality in our human bodies is always constantly changing, and that is the only thing that we've got. We grow, we learn, we pick ourselves up when we fall. Like, all of this is change and learning and experiencing. So it's kind of funny to me that they kind of point out like, hello, you change constantly. The beauty of it, though, is that we are all experiencing a little bit of this craziness and chaos, but we're all experiencing these changes together. So this is a different and new feeling for us. And as we are empathic and as a collective, we feel those emotions of a little bit of chaos and fear. It makes it feel bigger to us. But the act of change is something that we are actually familiar with, right? And I love that last line that they're saying, like, change is neither good nor bad. It simply is, right? So again, this provides a new perspective for us to sit and understand that, as we consider change being all bad, we kind of raise our little red flags and it gives us anxiety. But as we consider change as being exciting or good, we have a different perspective. So it's kind of interesting how they're like, change just is. It just is always happening. It always has happened. It's happening to you now. It's neither good nor bad, right? So I kind of think it's kind of funny that they're pointing that out. It's kind of obvious, but we don't think about it like that, right? Okay, so let's pick up here. Remember, the more you focus on what you've lost or what is now broken, the more change affects you negatively. Yet, the more you focus on the gifts change may bring, the more positive and exciting change can become. Change is not always comfortable. It is only when you are uncomfortable that you move. And if you are not moving or changing, you become stagnant. So that is very clear. They're saying you have got to move forward and change, get used to it, kind of. But I think that it's really interesting that they're saying, if you continue to focus on the negative and the fear-based stuff from change, then that's all you're going to find and see. But if you continue to realize that change is constant, it's always happening, change can be exciting, good comes from change, your whole perspective changes, and now you are kind of going with the flow of change. So again, some of these things sometimes are kind of obvious, yet when we hear it in a different context, we're like, mind blown. And the other thing, sometimes the things that they mention are one sentence can mean so much. And I wish you guys could feel, because through telepathy, when they communicate, they give a lot of emotion into everything that I interpret, right? So I wish you could feel it. And in fact, if you're sensitive and you're an empath, I want you to kind of tap into this. And even I want you to even comment below and tell me like what feeling that you get when I say certain things, because I think a lot of you are going to find validation in that, and that's just going to be really fun little exercise to try. But just know that there's a lot of emotion behind some of this stuff. So when you feel me say certain things, it'll kind of buzz within you, and you'll feel like, oh wow, that was really powerful, right? Which is, it's just really interesting. I'm kind of like, as I'm interpreting things and repeating things, it's words, but there's so much more than that, right? Okay. Here's the next part. Hear us when we say all of the chaos that is happening around you is actually happening for you and not to you. And as many things change, break, or even fall apart, know that these are simply the chains of change breaking free and allowing you to raise your vibration and grow in a magnificent way. Do not focus on the lack, but focus on the gain. It is here where we are leading you and where you will discover the most important things of life. Okay, so I'm so glad I said that whole empath and feeling thing before I said this paragraph, because you could really like feel this emotion, right? Okay, so I love that they use the descriptive, like these are the chains of change and we are breaking you free of those things. So what I felt, the emotion and things like that, is letting go of our limiting beliefs, letting go of what we thought we should or shouldn't do, finding new and inventive ways to have our cake and eat it too, right? To have successful jobs and make what we need to make, but also spend the loving time that we need to spend with our families, right? And so letting go and breaking free of all these chains and the systems that no longer serve us, that aren't working for us anymore, right? We're breaking free of all that. And as we're doing so, and those chains are just falling to the ground, we are rising up. Our vibration is shifting and changing, and it's incredibly powerful, right? So I love that they use that kind of expression, like we are breaking you free from these chains. Like, can't you see? Like you're limited, right? And you are this beautiful light body being that doesn't have to have these limitations. So I felt that was really powerful, right? Okay, the next part says, be wise with your decisions and make them from a place of love and not fear. Sit with your choices and ask for guidance. Then listen to how your higher self replies. You hold all of the answers you seek. You have simply forgotten how to ask and how to listen. Okay. So for those of us light workers that have gone through all of our struggles, our dark night of the soul, and we've kind of went through all of this, this paragraph right here is preaching to the choir, because we're all like, oh, we have been there, right? We forgot. We then they use this terminology a couple times, and they'll use it again, where they're telling us, you are this amazing light body being. You are fully capable of doing these incredible things. You have forgotten, right? And the funniest part is we chose to come here, right? And then they wiped our slate clean. So it's like, well, duh, we forgot. We got wiped clean. And so part of the mission and part of the lessons we learn here in life is to remember who we are at our core. And so they're saying you have simply forgotten how to just and be quiet and still. And when you have choices to make, go inward and listen, right? Ask the questions and quiet your mind and listen to that voice within you, your higher self, your guides. They're there, they're with you. You just forgot how to listen, right? Really powerful. Again, I can throw back to meditation. This is going to help to enhance that ability if those of you that are kind of still looking for how to sit and listen, right? Okay, here's the next part. You chose to come here to your earthly body at this very moment in time, knowing this would be a challenging role to play and life to live. But yet you have rose to the occasion. You are a beautiful light being, and you are here for many reasons. One is to simply learn, and the other is to raise your vibration. And in doing so, you will raise the vibration of the collective. These changing times and chaos are the very catalysts you needed for growth. Okay, so what they're basically saying is all the change and the chaos around us is for a reason. Without those things, we would not have risen to the occasion. We would not have stepped up into our better versions of ourselves and said, enough, we're not going to live life like this. We're going to change things. We would not have been able to break through some of this. So the beauty of chaos and the beauty of change is recognizing that where we were is not where we want to stay, and where we are headed is where I want to go, right? So I think it's just really kind of interesting. And the funny thing to me too is they constantly kind of like throw that out there, like you chose to be here, which is hilarious to me because I'm like, did I? Because sometimes this kind of life and body and all these things kind of suck. So it's kind of funny that they're like, you chose to be here. But I think the beauty of that is that if you knew the impact you were going to have on the entire collective in the universe, and you knew that you were fully capable of handling this challenging experience and the role, the character, me, Ashley Dawn, that I'm going to play, and I still signed up for it, clearly I was capable and ready. And so I think that that kind of like gives you a little bit of like a confidence boost, because you're like, wait a minute, I chose, knowing this was going to be this difficult, I chose this? Dang, like, okay, I may have been wiped clean and I may be still remembering some things, but clearly I am scratching the surface of my full potential, right? Okay, so here's the next part. There will be much more controversy around your leaders about currency, trade, laws, and human rights. There will continue to be contradictory information leading you to come to your own understanding. We ask you not to get caught up in the distractions of others, and to remember, an emergency for one is not necessarily an emergency for all. And when you do feel conflicted in making choices, we ask you in these moments to look inward and build up the confidence within yourself and the thread of communication to your guides. You will find all of the answers you seek. Okay, so this is a little loaded, and although I have done some channeled messages on these things before, this is one of the first times that they have brought it up here on this platform where they're talking about some controversy about our leaders and politics and law and trade and human rights. As difficult as some of those things are to take in and to handle, again, they ask us to sit back and see this as an observer, to not get caught up in the chaos. It doesn't serve us, right? But when we do need to make difficult decisions or any decisions, they said, don't forget, go inward. You have the answers you seek. Your guides are with you always. And if you quiet your mind and listen, you will find all the answers that you need. And so again, they're saying, meditate regularly, communicate to us regularly, and strengthen that thread of communication, because we are right there with you. So that's kind of cool too. Okay, here's the last part. As always, we ask you to hold space for love in your heart. This will ground you and guide you greatly. Lightworkers specifically, hold space for all that are awakening and for all that already know how imperative this change is. We send you love and light always. Okay, so I love that they did a little Lightworker shout out at the end, and that they were like, keep up the good work. We see you. Hold that space, hold the space for love and light for those that are starting to recognize how imperative this change is, and hold the space for love and light for those that are just now becoming awakened and aware and remembering who they are, right? So we Lightworkers have been and will continue to be doing that, but I thought it was really kind of sweet that they were like, we see you. So anyway, guys, I do these channeled messages often. And so if this is something that you really enjoyed and you really got a lot out of it, it just fills my heart with such joy to kind of see you guys that are, really getting good vibes from this and, sending me comments and things like that. It's amazing. So please like and subscribe if you want to hear more information about this kind of stuff. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and love and light, my friends.